are good husbands, patient fathers, builders of great things, and slayers of dragons. And yes, men who are willing to die for a principle if that's what God asks them to do. Because so many of us recognize that it is better to die a patriot than live a coward. I remember watching every video of the assassination, looking for clues, trying to understand what happened. I try to hide my friend and that terrible bullet hitting him, but I would try to look around. I stayed up all night for many nights in a row, researching every conspiracy theory, going down every rabbit hole. When my lovely wife, Usha, told me to come to bed, I told her I owed it to Charlie to try to uncover every stone, and so that's what I tried to do. I remember I was consumed by this fear that Charlie's death wouldn't just deprive a family of their husband or of a good father, but that it would deny our movement of a great unifier of people and a great doer of great deeds. It's the only time I can remember my wife ever telling me that she was really worried about me. She told me it many times. But what saved me was not lying to myself, but accepting the reality of the fight that we're in. Charlie's death was an immense loss, an irreplaceable loss. We got kicked in the teeth, my friends, and there's no sugarcoating it or pretending that it didn't happen. We need to accept that.
Definitely.
And what saved me was realizing that the story of the Christian faith, like the story of these United States of America, is one of immense loss followed by even bigger victory. It's a story.
I don't know where my, oh, there go my phone.
It's a story of very dark nights followed by very bright dawns. What saved me was remembering the inherent goodness of God and that His grace overflows when we least expect it. Not long ago, I spent time at a Christian men's ministry just a couple of weeks ago. And here's what they do. They take men who struggle with addiction or homelessness and they help them get back on their feet. They feed them, they clothe them, they give them shelter and financial advice. They live out the very best part of Christ's commission. Now afterwards, I had lunch with 4 of these men. It was a couple of white guys, a Hispanic guy, and a black man. They had all struggled in their unique ways. Some had lost contact with their family, some of them for a very long time. Others were desperate to rebuild relationships with their kids so that they could see them on Christmas. But all of them were back on their feet. And what saved them? It wasn't racial commonality or grievance. It wasn't some philosophical jargon. It wasn't a DEI prep course, and it wasn't a
It was doing
check.
it. It was doing
It was
it.
the fact that a carpenter died 2,000 years ago and changed the world in the process.
And they did something about it. I'm moving them comments on up out the way real quick. Give me a second.
If you go to almost any food pantry in this country, you will find Christians feeding the poor. If you go to addicts whose families won't even speak to them, like my mom was at a certain point of her life, it's often the Christian ministries that stay with them at their very lowest moments. You'll find Christians sitting patiently beside hospice beds and in recovery rooms and in all the places of the world where people have given up on other people. And this is the moral truth we strive to center in our work in the Trump administration and in this great movement of ours. A true Christian politics, it cannot just be about the protection of the unborn or the promotion of the family, as important as those things absolutely are. It must be at the heart of our full understanding of government. Why do we penalize corporations that ship American jobs overseas? Because we believe in the inherent dignity of human work and every person who works a good job in this country. Why? Why have we worked, without the help of Congress, to restrict H-1B visas, for example? Because we believe it is wrong for companies to bypass American labor just to go for cheaper options in the third world.
Yeah.
We help older Americans in retirement, including by ending taxes on Social Security, because we believe in honoring your father and mother rather than shipping all of their money off to Ukraine.
Y'all, I'm trying to get my chat working in here. If anybody just joined, I'm trying to pull it up.
Medicaid, so that the least among us can afford their prescriptions or to take their kids to see a doctor. And it's why we are outraged at the injustice of Tim Walz allowing Somalian immigrants to defraud that program to the tune of billions of dollars. It ought to go to Americans, because that's who it's there for.
Well, we not getting them hoes. We need them hoes.
Now, I want to close, my friends, but I have heard you. I know that some of you are impatient at the pace of progress, and my response to that is good. Be impatient. Use that desire.
Lakeman will never in a digital viewers.
Why they say previously recorded?
Wow.
12, 22, 25. That's
they can't
today.
Control. Some of you are discouraged by the infighting over any number of issues. Don't be discouraged. Wouldn't you rather lead a movement of free thinkers who sometimes disagree than a bunch of drones who take their orders from George Soros?
Oh, God.
And I know many of you miss our dear friend Charlie Kirk. So do I. I miss his optimism. I miss his energy. I miss the phone calls where we'd strategize about how to get this or that GOP congressman to get off their ass and do something. But most of all, I miss Charlie's wisdom. I miss his reminder that politics is not a dress rehearsal or a game. We are making decisions that will save our country and give the American people a shot at their dreams again. If you miss Charlie Kirk, do you promise to fight what he died for?
I definitely am in real time on game.
Do you promise to take the country back from the people who took his life?
As long as I don't get killed.
To help defeat the radicals who cheered his death?
As long as I don't get shot. As long as I don't get shot.
To honor his memory by having faith in the God he loved?
Definitely. That's a
My
positive.
friends, commit to these things, and I promise you victory. I promise you closed borders and safe communities. I promise you good jobs and a dignified life. Only God can promise you salvation in heaven, but together we can fulfill the promise of the greatest nation in the history of the earth. Merry Christmas, my friends. Let's keep fighting.
Who coming next? Why this previously recorded?
An extraordinary speech by the 50th Vice President of the United States to close out Turning Point USA's America Fest out in Phoenix, Arizona yesterday. Themes of unity, themes of having the ability to free think with Christian nationalism, the idea that our Christian ethics led to the foundations of this amazing nation nearly 250 years ago. A call to action peacefully and patriotically to serve your community, especially the men, and especially to go against the ideology that led to someone killing the late, great Charlie Kirk in such a barbaric way. As we watch that situation play out in a courtroom now, Vice President J.D. Vance giving a personal touch that he so eloquently does, and an inspirational story.
Why is that screen going so fucking slow? Why is it so choppy?
I truly see it as a speech very much like Citizenship in the Republic, and that Ronald Reagan's time for choosing. Well done, Mr. Vice President. Thank you for those extraordinary and inspiring words leading up to the Christmas holiday. As we await roughly 20 minutes from now a scheduled event with the president, making an announcement with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Secretary Phelan.
Is it playing?
As well. Thank you to allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN.
It is. My shit looks so horrible.
RSBN 10. Use 10%
Give me a second,
off
guys.
now for your pharmaceutical note. These
All
U.S.
right.
licensed doctors will review your order.
Come on.
And send it right to your door within a matter of days. RSBN 10 is the code for 10% off. Scan the QR code now. allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. Thank you to Kalshi.com/RSBN as well, with questions like Times Person of the Year. Will AI take that over? Ohio State, the Buckeyes, the Indiana Hoosiers, and the Georgia Bulldogs, amongst other teams, competing for the big dance on January 19th. The stage is set with some of those playoff games having take place this past weekend, but those Buckeyes falling short to the Hoosiers in their first outright Big Ten championship in football on the gridiron since 1945. So we look forward to that competition. The NCAA Division I AA, which is known as the FCS Series, now in its championship all set between Montana and the Illinois State Redbirds. We'll see that on January 5th. My Chicago Bears, 11-4 at the top of the NFC North. How will that all play off for Super Bowl 60? Kalshi.com/RSBN. Answer those questions of sports, music, culture, politics, and much, much more. Might as well trade and bet on the American story. Also, thank you to CovePure.com/RSBN for a holiday sale unlike any other. $250 off this machine that looks very much like a coffee maker you might have at home on the kitchen counter, for a reverse osmosis system leading with Clearwave technology, removing 99.9% of the impurities out of the water. If you rent, this is a great option. You don't need those pipes, those plumbers, and all the mess that will take place, and then pay those fines with when you move out of your apartment. You can see with the temperature change there. If you drink tea, a great tool to use to get that water nice and hot fast instead of waiting for it on the stove, and then you have to steep it and go through all the process and the steps. You don't have to worry about that with this wonderful CovePure.com/RSBN. In addition to making it cold water, lukewarm water, hot water almost immediately, it's good to make sure poison is not in your water. We know now that fluoride to hormonal disrupting blockers like birth control, agricultural runoff, pesticides get into the tap water. And with that lead crisis that took place back during Flint, Michigan, remember that? That can all lead to brain damage, to liver failure, kidney issues, gastrointestinal problems. You don't need that. Drink pure, live pure with CovePure.com/RSBN. Utah and Florida addressing this very matter with their legislatures and their governors, Spencer Cox and Ron DeSantis, respectively, looking at all of the different options to make America's water systems safe and pure. But CovePure.com/RSBN leading the way on that with their Clearwave technology. $250 off right now. Thank you for sponsoring us on the right side of history as we cover the latest from the Trump White House and the news that is out there breaking as we get to this Christmas holiday, just days away. And as you notice from the Vice President's speech right prior to him going on stage, a surprise, Erica Kirk showing up with her friend Nicki Minaj to talk on a number of different cultural issues and that freedom of religion, the freedom to think, the freedom to speak your mind. And when asked about how she handles those critics out there, Nicki Minaj said, "I don't listen, I don't care. This is who I am, I'm moving forward." And how great is it to have people like Jason and Brittany Aldean and Nicki Minaj focused on thinking about their future, their posterity, being unafraid, not backing down, not simply worrying about selling songs or albums or what it might be out there in the music world, but rather, how am I going to leave an impact on the social construct, on culture as a whole? And that's what a Turning Point USA event does better, really, than anyone else, is they had the tent there in memoriam of Charlie Kirk, where he spent his last moments. And that image really got me over the weekend as I was tuning in for this amazing coverage and the robust discussion and people leading a movement that is truly a big tent, as the Vice President pointed out as we saw that replay moments ago. But with cut number 14, Mr. Producer, we can play some of those comments back from America Fest with Nicki Minaj as the opener, precursor, for the vice president yesterday.
Well, I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. This administration is full of people with heart and soul, and they make me proud of them. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not. Don't you guys agree?
I agree.
They haven't lost touch of the world. You know, they're still connected to the world and what's happening in the world, with the younger people and older people, with the richer people and not so rich people. They have the ability to still connect and be real and make us feel proud to be American.
Nikki's comments remind me of a colleague who once told me, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And I think she's hitting just that.
Yeah. They did her lame. I don't know how long Nicki Minaj has been here, but they didn't give her citizenship. They didn't, it basically ain't do nothing for her, honestly, but try to keep her in the United States and keep making money, even though that she ain't no citizen. Why would you let all these people come across the border for free, for the free ski? All these sanctuary people, but you won't simply give Nicki Minaj her citizenship or whatever it is. I'm sure she know who our president is. She know who Trump is. I don't know.
Disagreement rather than being zombies. As numbers for the year with cut number 11, Mr. Producer, President Trump taking to Truth Social to talk about those correct job numbers that is not portrayed accurately most of the time, sadly, from fake news outlets. The only reason
they say it's 418 wherever they at. It's 417 where I'm at.
Is because we are reducing the government workforce by numbers that have never been seen before. 100% of our new jobs are in the private sector. I could reduce unemployment to 2% overnight by just hiring people into the federal government, even though those jobs are not necessary. I wish the fake news would report the 4.5% correctly. What I am doing is the only way to make America great again. And President Trump doing just that to make sure that the money goes where it's needed, with 5.7 million going to the state of Kansas with cut number 12. President Trump issuing those federal funds to assist the great state of Kansas. I have just informed Senator Roger Marshall that I have approved $5.7 million for the wonderful state of Kansas in order to recover from severe storms, tornadoes, and flooding.
Yeah, and it's sad because I got people who try to downplay all of this. Like, I had a guy who's a Democrat, and I know him, and he told me some weird ass shit, man. I'm telling you, he was telling me that he had illegal immigrants fresh off the border doing nanny shit so that they can doing nanny shit, basically taking care of their kids, cleaning the house and paying them little to nothing so that she wouldn't leave, and not teaching her English or him so they wouldn't leave, and paying them just enough to survive and not any extra. Like, it's, they want slaves, right? They want slaves at this point. And I heard it from a Democrat's mouth. They told in California, they was like, "Oh, he said it's normal." I don't know if it's normal. I do want to look up and see if anybody has Cali mates from border. I'm like, this came out his mouth. He used to live in California, not me. Like, nah, cuz said he got him straight from the border.
President said, no mas, no more. It's got to all be fairly priced across the globe. And we've been pushing for most favored nation pricing, doing the unthinkable with bold action to ask pharmaceutical companies to agree to drop their prices in the United States. Today, massive news, 9 more companies are getting into the program. That means now we have 14 out of the 17 big companies are in, and I'm proud that the president was able to push without any hesitation to make sure that we've gotten all these companies on board. It's just bold leadership, it has bold vision, and it achieves bold goals.
Most favored nation pricing is
President focused on
matching prices with other nations.
Economy to making...
I tell you, I got this face wash I use, and it's nothing but experience. It's nothing but experience. I'm experiencing it, right? They want to tell you, oh, you're looking outside of your perspective, but my nigga, ain't nobody over here buying my face. Let me go get my face wash, man. I'm not the richest person in the world. I'm going to just tell y'all that. But La Roche-Posay, or however you said, I don't know. It sounds like I'm saying a swear word or whatever. But this, you could look this up. I believe it's in Walmart, or it might not be in Walmart. I think you gotta order it. But it's $50. If I look this up, I'll look it up right now. And mind you, my girlfriend told me this, and hey, like, she be like, you don't never act like I'm right or whatever. My nigga, I don't know if this is $50. I'm gonna just keep it real, but don't make me look stupid, right? Look, they got the countries listed so you know which one you going to, the right one. North America, USA, English. La Roche-Posay, $39. $39. 100 mil, $30, yeah. Actually, this is the small one, cuz. $30. This is the small one. I got the big, long, tall one. This is 200 milliliters. That was 100 milliliters. Let me see if I can find that's 100 milliliters still. This is 40 milliliters. 400 milliliters. $40. I don't know. It's half the price though. The smaller one, half the 100 milliliter costs $25 off top. 25. So 25 plus 25, that's $50. I mean, like, if you gonna add on, they might give you a little discount, $48.99 or something like that. But bro, this shit is, if you go to India, this shit is $10, cuz. This shit is $10 all day. All day. But we, as a community in the United States, have to listen to Democrats and be like, well, yeah, they're right. Our prices are cheaper. They're cheaper, nigga. Nah, nigga, your money is more valuable, and they take more money from you so that bro. If they took our $50, it'd be like taking 850 fucking Indian coins or something. I don't know.
Prosperity happened.
Let's see where he at. I'm really waiting on Trump to speak. I don't really give a fuck about none of these people.
Season, this time of togetherness, all family farm. This country anywhere. Those Charlie, he has been endorsed Buckeyes communism, common state of apps retaliate.
Come to right. You are, and I have to admit, administration. They not.
Bro, people. I'm waiting for him to come on. What time he come on?
Plus medicines, including medical kits.
This stuff ain't doing nothing but leaking. Come on.
And take these on the road with you. Thank you for sponsoring us on the right side of history. We're very grateful for all of our sponsors here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. We also
keep a back
to thank our next sponsor this evening, and it is Kalshi.com/RSBN for Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, will be Alabama, who will win the January 19th competition and the championship winners of the world. Again, the Buckeyes, the Hoosiers, the Bulldogs, the Crimson Tide, among others, having amazing seasons this year. Will AI become Times Person of the Year? Will Jensen Wang hold out that position? How about my Chicago Bears? Will they win it all in Super Bowl 60? They're 11-4. That was fun to watch over the weekend on Saturday night as we get ready for so many celebrations.
Right, these black chicks don't like Nicki Minaj no more. They hate her ass. They hate her. Threads is like the left like times 20.
Politics, culture, and much, much more. It's the American story as it unfolds. Might as well trade and bet on it. Kalshi.com.
And right now I'm reading it. Let me. I can't pull my phone up on here. Let me see if I can pull my threads up on here, cause I want you guys to see this bullshit. Let me see if I can show you this bullshit. Is it gonna log me in? Security code 535-811. Threads be on some wishy-washy ass shit. Like they'll throw some ass in your face. They'll throw shit that offends you type shit, so that you'll get pissed. It is what it is. Oh, he here?
Truth when the mainstream media falls
No,
short.
he not.
Since 2015, we've proudly.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at this shit, right? They on her ass, right? They say opening herself up to deportation, right? Not a U.S. citizen. Nicki Minaj is not a U.S. citizen. Despite having lived in the United States for many years and paying millions in taxes, she's not obtained citizenship. Minaj has expressed her surprise at the situation, stating that she believes she deserves citizenship due to her contributions to this country, but she remains a lawful permanent resident of Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago, I don't know, Tobago. You can call me stupid if you want to. I could care less. Yeah, that. What else? My shit keeps saying encoding, overloading. I want to see if I could, get a zoom in on here. So, I just need to go on Threads and kind of like just talk about this shit. So understand, right? This is the left having this conversation. Nicki Minaj has been here since Bedrock. When that song Bedrock come out, I'm being gracious because I'm using the song Bedrock. She was here before Bedrock, the rap song, whatever it is. So that song came out in 2009. I was 8. She's been here. Let's count. 2009, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Damn, 20, what is that? 21 years? Hold up. Damn. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 5, 10, 15, 6. She been here for 16 years, respectfully. Let me move this up out your way, little youngin. But she's been here for, 15, 16 years. Keep it real with you, 16 years. My entire timeline about Nicki right now, if I don't like somebody, I'm not dedicating 5, 6, 7 posts to them. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Why do people think $30 an hour is a lot? Once you hit a new tax bracket, it's chops. See, this the type of shit though. This the type of shit that make you goddamn tweak out and rage bait, right? All I'm saying is y'all don't think people have a decent pay and wage don't struggle too, cause that gap closes real fast. No, we know you niggas struggle, but we all struggling with you. Don't act like it's just you. Looking at y'all talking about Nicki like her album ain't less than 6 months away, feeding right into her trap. I doubt that is feeding into a trap. I do believe what she's saying is actually sincere, if that makes sense to you. To me, it does. I keep it real. Let me see if I could turn this shit down. This is bugging me. Is 10,000 gonna make this shit look straight? 20,000. I had it on 30,000 last time. This is the bit rate that I'm trying to make sure it look good. Yeah. My dog just be staring at me, man. Black people aren't a monolith. We have different views and thoughts. I'm happy for Nicki. And it's like, why you probably never said a fucking thing about Nicki Minaj. Let's just go down. Let's load the whole fucking page. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's see if he's been worried about Nicki Minaj, right? I just wanna prove a point and kinda figure out what the fuck going on. This is your last tweet. This is it. All right, since we got everything loaded on the page, Nicki Minaj. Am I spelling that right? Yeah. Okay. Out of 2025 09. Oh, this dude is brand new. So he didn't care about Nicki Minaj recently. Now he does. Cause it just be weird. I didn't care about her. She came into this industry, but you shouldn't really give a fuck if she's never talked about it in the first place. This makes us happy. Y'all just mad. Abortion would be legal if men had to get them too. I I don't know. I'm 26 and I haven't had no kid. I haven't had a scare or anything. So if that's how you feel, you can feel that way. But I think majority of us aren't just out here fucking and trying to have a baby. And I think y'all be nutting in people on purpose. If y'all y'all say I'm hard on women, niggas, I truly believe y'all nut in women on purpose for a fucking fact, and y'all try to make it look like a mistake. That's for a fucking fact. That's for a fact. That's a fact. Fact, nigga. Okay, you do this then. If you go out there and you fucking, what you fucking for? You ain't fucking because you can't feel the shit. You're fucking because you can feel it. So you're telling me that the nut that you're trying to chase, you can't feel it come out your dick. The reason for you to have sex and do what you did, you can't feel it. I mean, like, I don't understand. I don't. Y'all just stay in that motherfucker and y'all shoot the club up, and that's y'all fault. That's really y'all fault, honestly. Anika is going to lean very soon that tokens get spent. I'll learn very soon that tokens get spent. I'm not sure who that is. Deleting all Nicki Minaj's music out of my phone. That's my last straw with her, and I love Nicki, but this ain't it. Let's see what they got to say about her. You can really shut the fuck up under my post. I know that because I didn't ask y'all or her about how she feels about it. Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. You posted this on the worldwide fucking web. You posted this. Unless you're a body, you don't understand the fucking communications. Bro, this is let me repost this. I can't see that either. Y'all seeing it literally the same exact thing I'm seeing. You're literally seeing my face in the screen. That's what I'm seeing as well. Why is it doing that? Because I'm not on the actual screen, huh? All right. I put Danley family. I'm not being goddamn correct with all this shit. She know exactly what I mean. I'm not out here. Just leave. You don't have to make the announcement. Exactly. I'm sure she will lose much more sleep over this tremendous loss. I don't know, my nigga. You gotta think. Nicki Minaj came out and Nicki Minaj stood out for MAGA. If you think she did that with the tight ties that she got with Drake, with Lil Wayne, Birdman, I'm pretty sure they're still cool. Them are day ones, nigga. That is what is it? That song that I was talking about, Bedrock. They day ones. You gotta be realistic. YoungBoy just made an album called Massive, Make America Slime Again. YoungBoy was pardoned by Birdman. Like I said, by Birdman. YoungBoy was pardoned by Trump. Like, for real, YoungBoy was pardoned by Trump. That's their group, and they're the most revolutionary artists right now that we know of. I'm not saying they the hottest, they the best rapping artists. I'm not speaking lyrically wise. I'm not doing that. But what I'm telling you is that they achieve the most views. They achieve the most shit. For a fact, they achieve all of that shit. I want to see if I can 1920 by 1080 is HD. Goddamn, what this looking like? Cause it's acting like it's recording the biggest fucking screen in the city. It's not. All right, fuck it. I just hope my shit ain't crashing out. No one cares. Yeah, laugh it off. Everyone was cool with her marrying a rapist, but now that her political views differ, she's public enemy number one. Typical American idiot shit. I love it. I love it. Is he on there or they bullshit? He ain't on there. Is this over with? Am I tweaking? Am I waiting for something that I'm not finna get? Still. Yeah, everybody was cool with her until she pulled that shit. Like, really? That's the last straw. People are hilarious. She could have murdered someone broad daylight and they wouldn't care. And they wouldn't. They literally fucking wouldn't. Cause Young Boy is out there rapping right now. And he is selling out shows with a massive tour. A massive tour. And if Trump doing it on purpose, he know exactly what he's doing. And if he doing it on purpose, great business moves, my nigga. But I doubt that he's just like, oh, let's release Young Boy or let's do this for Birdman. Bro, he just released them. It ain't, bro, they fans of him. Let's keep going back. Let's keep going. Nicki Minaj is giving Plantation snitch energy. Shit. Plantation snitch energy. Woo. Look, opening this app and everybody cook Nicki on gang. Until your back give out, they're gonna work you. I do agree with that. I'm like, it's not a lot of stuff that we should be disagreeing on, honestly. Spoken like a true Democrat. I definitely think so myself. You are a damn freak, says the guy that. But look, I want you guys to understand what's going on. This dude stepping on my keyboard. He don't got no fucking no type of respect. In Nicki Minaj's defense, most wives of pedophiles are Republicans. So in many ways, she's just finding her tribe. And this is the shit that I'd be talking about, right? This is unnecessarily a lot of comments on Nicki Minaj. Almost as if everybody in the world is speaking about Nicki Minaj. Why are you showing me this? Why is Instagram showing me this, right? Nicki Minaj, Team Minaj, since she was Nicki Minaj. I'm going to bring up crime statistics to show you that you hate men. At least show all of the math and not the math you want to use to proliferate your views. So I think I can agree with that. I believe he is saying, except all of the math backs that up. Yeah. I'd have been like, have you heard of per capita? I don't know how to spell that shit. I know what it is though. Look, nigga. Right. Fans found old videos of Nicki Minaj speaking on Donald Trump's wife trending.
You better pray to God you don't get stuck with a motherfucking Melania. You niggas want brainless bitches?
I have the utmost respect
She flipped.
and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me. So,
Cause Barack needed a Michelle, bitch, and Bill needed a motherfucking Hillary, bitch. You better pray.
It's nice to say that when goddamn they ain't in the Epstein files and shit, or they not helping the genocide of Christianity, or they aren't helping. Like, I'm like, it's easy to say what you can't see, right? Until you visually see it. No shade at her, but I mean, like, it's a lot of people, bro. I was trying to be a Democrat. I'm gonna keep it real. I was trying to be a Democrat, and I wasn't. It ain't like I'm saying like I was trying to, like, bro. I'm thinking like, what's the difference between these two policies? And my father raising me up without instilling any type of bias or remorse or any type of understanding and forcing me to understand something. My dad literally never spoke about it, and to this day, I don't think he cares. I would love for him to pay attention and understand what's going on, but I'm not trying to sound rude, but he's getting older. He's had his kids. It's over with. It's me. It's me. I gotta start leading my family, right? I gotta start leading and assisting with understanding and concepts and stuff. Because I heard fuck Republicans all my life. I know it. I understand. But it was never a person in front of me that was like, well, let's conversate about it, right? There was never no negotiation. There was never any interpretation on what I felt like I didn't understand. Nobody tried to help me. Nobody. I'm like, I was a walking duck. I think I was just green. And I think that's the best way to do it, because you realize, dude, these dudes want too much from the government. These dudes want so much from the government, it don't make no logical sense. How you gonna have 6 kids and then ask for help from somebody who you don't even know, who you have never even seen in your fucking life before? You probably did see Trump in your life, but bro, half you niggas ain't never even talked to this dude, or you never been in the White House. You've never been in any type of council meeting in your city. You've never been in any school meeting in your city, and it blows my fucking mind. It blows it. It blows this shit out the water. It blows it. Let's see. And then the hate. This looks like a dude. Maybe. Why do men think we're going to? Why do men think when we're giving other women advice, they think we're bashing them, when we're simply bringing awareness to each other so we can, grow and choose better patterns. Weed isn't good to heal your depression. Go get some sunlight. I guess. I mean, like, oh, this isn't a comment. I was about to say, yeah, I don't know. Let's welcome the newest member to the party of common sense. Exactly. Blaming millennials for Nicki Minaj's turning. God damn. Blaming millennials for Nicki Minaj turning out to be a terrible person is crazy. So our parents made R. Kelly a pedophile too. Some of y'all folks low key, some of y'all folks who love Diddy, please. So how was it with expiring after 20 and men being in their prime at 40? Bottom G. This is another problem with our world. Language isn't consistent across all humans. Language is only consistent against your group of people, right? So let's just say we say women expire after 20 or whatever. They start to get older and they have kids and all of that type of stuff. This dude is 40 years old. He's beat the fuck up. This is a prime picture of him. And he looks way better than me. I'm not even going to cap with you. But let's look at her. And I'm not being an asshole or anything, but I just want to be honest, right? That's if she even has any picture of herself, because she doesn't. She's scared to goddamn post a fucking picture. You will talk about somebody else, but instead of having something for somebody else to say about you, you are going to have cat pictures, all of this type of stuff. You goddamn, you can call people ugly, but you don't have anything to, this her? Yeah, I don't know how old she is. She probably look like she got some tight skin. I'm not too much of a hater. I'm not one of them people who be like, well, white people age worse than black people. I can give a fuck less. It's too many people in the world for me to even keep up and even understand that shit. It's way too many people on this earth for me to be like, I look better than all the white people. I'm gonna age better than all the white people. I don't know. I just feel like it's not reasonable. It's honestly not reasonable. I haven't seen every white person in the world either. That's not reasonable. Yeah. I mean, like, what the fuck? What he's supposed to do? He can't respond to you. You calling him ugly. He can't respond to you. You're private as well. Yeah, that's the problem. They bots. This is a bot. This is completely a bot right here. And this bot is trying to get you to engage, which I be engaging. Shit. Oh, who cares? That nigga's gonna die. This dude is goofy. I'm not worried about that. I don't think this dude is coming on live. That's nice that you can actually click and drag this. Wow. What an update to the internet. This is what happens when you set up the world to use electricity and they're not prepared for it with the infrastructure. This is literally what happens. This is literally what Trump is trying to stop. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. The infrastructure is not here. The cause and effects and problems and all that type of shit is not understood yet. And I get it. It's not hard to be rational. It's not. Yeah. Well, actually, this isn't why they released AI. You can actually save the image. And what you can do is search up a AI detector, right? And if this is fake, this AI detector will tell you if it's fake. So what do? Upload your file. I have a little server that I have. They're popping up as two different computers, but it doesn't matter. And you can try and check for AI. I mean, like, it's just some shit that people don't go through and check. I mean, like, I have no clue on if this is real. So look, this is 88% AI generated. I mean, like, and I'm doing this in real time because I really want people to understand when they come and watch this video. I want people to understand that you can figure out this shit on your own, right? They're not doing nothing but adding more steps for you to try to go around. When you look up ChatGPT, they're nothing but leftist bias. When you ask something that's nothing but leftist bias, they would never tell you, well, you should be living as if you are trying to survive, my nigga. If we were in the woods again, and my girlfriend and I had 6 kids, I promise you she wouldn't be leaving. I promise you. If there was no government, there weren't anything to protect her, the police wasn't able to be caught. You think she finna dip? I mean, like, unless I get my ass whooped. Yeah, but bro, this shit is goofy. I keep it 100% real. This shit is goofy. So this is 88% AI. So I'm assuming the dude in the bed is real, with the AI being whatchamacallit. Yeah. All right, let's do another one. AI photo detector. And let me check something, because this didn't pop up as a picture. From my understanding. Download WebNP. So does this open up as a picture? It does open up as a picture. Okay. So, photo AI detector. Image detector. And they're free. And these things are free. AI. Let's actually do this, because I want to be real thorough about this. Now, I'm not used to MP3. This is common knowledge. You've been using computers your whole life, right? I'm not familiar with WebP or whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is, can I not pull that over? I spelled that wrong. WebP photo converter. Y'all know exactly what I mean. And people act stupid online. You know what I mean? You type in something, they wanna. I don't want to HD convert. I just want a regular convert. Can you just convert it? Man, just download this whole fam. It's your free full tour. See, that's annoying. I. Okay, I trust this site. I think I've been on here before. So look, we're going to convert this into a JPEG convert. Then we're going to go up to AI, JPEG, AI detector. Again, I'm trying to figure this shit out myself. High accuracy detector. Download, put it in my server, pull it here. Okay. For professional writing, AI detector, check image. Oh, you could have pulled up that other image. We're gonna check that too then. Okay. So I wanted to, continue before. But hey, if it's real, that shit real. We're going to do one more. We're going to do that WebP. Oh, they salty. Spot AI generated images in seconds. WebP. Yeah, it's real. My nigga was in the bed with Bill. So I did see the whatchamacallit of Epstein saying that Bill did something with him. I don't know, but piped him down. That still isn't, I mean, like, being gay ain't a crime again. So unless y'all pulling out fucking petite girls or little females or whatever I don't think that's gonna work. Regardless, I don't know though. Clinton was involved with that shit. Like, I don't know. The only thing that I know is we should be worried about ourselves, right? Regardless, he's worried about us. I don't know what the decisions he made in the past, and it's honestly, it was really the lesser of two fucking evils. I mean, like, it was the lesser of two evils in my opinion. Still, regardless. No, they didn't. Honestly, in my opinion. And I mean, like, authenticity is what I'm saying. Like, I voted for Trump. I don't know what the fuck he got going on, but all I want is shit to stop going overseas. I work for IT. I'm tired of hearing Indians when I goddamn give a call. There's nothing wrong with Indians, but if I'm in the US and I'm doing some critical infrastructure work, I should not be talking to somebody I cannot understand. It's just, that should be, you want me to be forced to understand what somebody's saying. Now, what if I pull the wrong cable because it sounded like he said blue when he was supposed to say some other color? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Or actually, man, at this point, just put the immigrants in the hospitals. Y'all so close to fucking doing that. Just put the immigrants in the hospitals. So when niggas ask for help and they can't speak English, they'll understand why the United States is primarily English or English only. Because when you go to the hospital, you shouldn't need a bilingual. I shouldn't need to speak Spanish to goddamn talk to. I shouldn't need to talk. I shouldn't need to talk in Spanish to talk to anybody. I was born here, cuz. I think one of the corniest things men do in dating is say shit like, I already ate. Knowing damn well y'all have plans to go grab something to bite or grab a bite together. Why do men hear independent woman and think enemy of society? How you intimidated by someone who gets paid less? Honestly, so you're fucking wrong. Ever since DEI, they've been sweeping y'all asses up off the rugs. And another thing is, we don't look at that as enemy of society. I don't understand what they get when they, independent woman is we're not mad at that. It's about you being in a committed relationship and then telling somebody that you committed with that you're independent or you can do this shit independent. That's the problem, when you've committed and decided to work together, but then tell somebody they're independent. You can be independent by your fucking self and go do whatever the fuck you want to, but don't go talking about you independent and then talking about where the men at and then being mad like like this independent. Like let's do this again. Men. Bro, she got men on here 30 hold on, wait. 14 times. I gotta look through my OBS to see what I'm reading, but I'm look. Okay, so it's women and men, goddamn. So men that compares themselves to women, red flag. But that's the thing, we don't, because we don't say we're independent men. We're not comparing ourselves. So this is the problem. You got these people who are rage baiting, and then it's fucked up. It's the grown man crying like bitches for me. And the thing is, I'm not even crying. I'm just reading what you're saying. You're honestly delusional, nigga. Okay, ladies, if y'all want to jump to answer this question, but let the men answer this time. I'm trying to see some. Question of the day, D Fox. If a man doesn't make you his lady after 3 months of dating, is he serious about the relationship? She ain't getting no fucking replies about that. Yes, he is. A man jumping into a relationship in 3 months sounds fucking wild. Like that sounds fucking wild. Why would you even do that? Why would you even do that? I hate when I show love and it ends weird. So we finna get into a little debate on here because he still ain't here yet. Trump will make an announcement. I'm waiting for this guy to pop up. But let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at these notifications. So deleting all Nicki music out of my phone. That was my last straw, and I love Nicki, but this ain't it. Y'all can shut the fuck up under my post that I because I didn't ask y'all. Family, you post a topic to millions of users around the world and then think that we would press you about it. Okay, and if they didn't like what I have to say, they can keep it moving just like I do. I didn't ask them if she's going to care. I didn't make a post saying, hey, do y'all think Nicki would change her ways now that I'm deleting her music? I know she doesn't give a fuck. Look how she's moving. So what the fuck are you doing? I can't type without looking. I just gotta keep it real. Use a fake hoe. Cuz I don't understand. YouTube just gonna have to ban my ass. I'm gonna say this next time I get a bill. So another thing is, broke up with my fiance after a year because being the one with 2 jobs carrying the weight, when he finally started making money, he didn't want to give me none. And obviously, if he wasn't working and you was the only one working, or if you was the one making all the money, I mean, like, I'm home early. My girlfriend at work, but I work for IT, my nigga. I got down. I don't know. Shit, people different. I mean, like, I think it's better that we're together than if we were separate, honestly. If you want to keep it real. Let's look at my mans. My mans. He's here.
As you know, we're desperately in need of ships. Our ships are, some of them have gotten old and tired and obsolete, and we're going to go the exact opposite direction. We're delighted to be joined by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, who's doing a fantastic job, and Secretary of the Navy, John Phelan. Marco Rubio is here, who gave a great few words toward the end of last week. He spoke for a couple of hours on what a good job we're doing, which is true. As Commander-in-Chief, it's my great honor to announce that I have approved a plan for the Navy to begin the construction of two brand new, very large, the largest we've ever built, battleships. You know, you used to build the Iowa, the Missouri, the Wisconsin, the Alabama, and the other.
They have his mic fucked up. His mic is peaking, and they haven't turned it down. There's an indicator that shows your mic is peaking. There you go. Look.
Design consideration for a long time.
It was peaking.
And it started with me in my first term, because I said, why aren't we doing battleships like we used to? And they
want us to die.
These are the best in the world. They'll be the fastest, the biggest, and by far 100 times more powerful than any battleship ever built. So
yeah,
if you look at the Iowa, the Missouri, Wisconsin, Alabama, and others, but they were similar in size, some a little bit bigger than the others. But if you take the biggest one, it's 100 times more powerful. They're longer by a little bit, but they're bigger. They're bigger ships, but they hold much more. They use the word lethality. Battleships are the largest, sturdiest, and most heavily armed vessel built specifically for naval combat. While America has built many new warships over the years, they've tended to be smaller, much smaller, and not conducive to where we are and where we're going, and peace through strength. But including, we've been building aircraft carriers. We're going to be upping that also. We're going to be going to a superior aircraft. We have the Ford class. We're going to be upping that to a different class of aircraft carrier. And we haven't built a battleship since 1994. These cutting-edge vessels will be some of the most lethal surface warfare ships. It will be actually the most ever built other than our submarines. We have submarines which will have, in many ways, even more lethality, and we have many of them under construction. Each one of these will be the largest battleship in the history of our country, the largest battleship. 100 times more powerful than the previous Iowa class, it's called. Those are the big ones that you'd see on a show. Victory at Sea. I don't know if anyone's seen Victory at Sea, but it was a classic. They'll help maintain American military supremacy, revive the American shipbuilding industry, and inspire fear in America's enemies all over the world. We want respect. We're going to have it. We already have it. More respected now than we ever were. A year and a half ago, they laughed at us. Now they respect us again at levels that they've never respected us. We envision that these two ships, we're talking about 10, but we're going to start with 2, and we're going to quickly morph into 10. And ultimately, we think it's going to be anywhere from 20 to 25 of these. But we're starting with the first 2 immediately, and we're going to then be very quickly involved with, I think, we're going to do another 8. And then we're going to ultimately and pretty quickly have a total of about 20 to 25. We'll make that determination. We envision that these ships will be the first of a whole new class of battleships to be produced in the years to come. from Theodore Roosevelt, the Great White Fleet, you remember that, the Great White Fleet, to the legendary USS Missouri, whose massive guns helped win World War II. America's battleships have always been unmistakable symbols of national power. We stopped making them for whatever reason, I don't know. And I want to congratulate John Thalen, who is your secretary of the Navy. He came to me the first day we met. He talked about battleships, and I said, you're absolutely on the right track. He said, why are we doing other things? We have missiles, which are much more expensive. By the way, these battleships have tremendous numbers of missiles, but they also have guns. And in many ways, guns can do the trick just as well as missiles at a tiny fraction of the cost. Once completed, these new 30 to 40,000 ton plus vessels will be the flagships of the American naval fleet, and there has never been anything built like them. And I just want to, be very clear that we're building them here. We're working with others, but we're building them here. We have great Navy yards. We'll be negotiating with some of the companies that are running those yards, taking over the yards. We used to build a ship a day during World War II. Now we don't do ships very much anymore. We do military ships, we do submarines. By the way, we're 15 to 20 years advanced in our submarines over anybody else. That was one of the things that I did in my first term. We make the best submarines by far in the world. We're at least 15 years advanced ahead of anybody else in submarine development. Most powerful, that's right, the most powerful weapon anywhere in the world, undetectable. So the battleships are going to be armed just in terms of guns and missiles at the highest level. They'll also have hypersonic weapons, many hypersonic weapons, state-of-the-art electric rail guns, and even the high-powered lasers that you've been starting to read about. We have lasers where you aim the laser at a target and it just wipes it out. We're going to have, there'll be the most sophisticated lasers in the world, and the most sophisticated laser in the world will be on the battleships that we're building. They'll also carry the nuclear armed, sea-launched cruise missiles currently under development, which will be instituted pretty quickly, but they're under development and they've proven to be extremely lethal. The U.S. Navy will lead the design of these ships along with me, because I'm a very aesthetic person, alongside our partners in American industry, and we're going to have Pete Hegseth and Marco and a lot of very talented people involved, but a lot of it's already been done. We've been doing this for months. The construction will create thousands of American jobs. We're going to have the jobs be created. I mean, already we have factories being built unrelated to this, although AI will be a big factor when it comes to these ships. They'll be very AI controlled. Today's announcement is yet another step in our mission to make the United States Navy stronger than ever before. Again, when you talk about 100 times the power of these massive ships that we had years ago, it's pretty amazing. And next week I'm going to meet with the defense prime contractors. I'm going to meet with them here, Florida. And we're going to be talking about production schedules because they're too slow. We have many countries, allies, that are wanting to buy. We make the greatest equipment in the world, by far. Nobody's even close, but they don't produce them fast enough. So we're going to be meeting with them to talk about the production schedules.
They need to turn that motherfucking phone off.
Production schedules. And the only way they're going to be able to do that is to build new plants. Even with the F-35, we have many people who want the F-35 fighter jet, and it takes too long to deliver them to allies or to ourselves.
I gotta start going live
The only way they're going to be able to deliver them is if they build
and
new
showing
plants.
y'all that this nigga not being racist.
That's expensive. So
It's corny to me that y'all can't go on y'all own time and watch this shit and watch everything. I'm gonna just watch the full little interview. I'm gonna just watch the full little meeting.
Executives where they're
Because
making $45 and $50 million a
y'all
year
make it
and
say
not
like
being
he say
able to
something
build
racist
quickly.
every day. I watched the video. They was like,
Make that kind of
we
money,
don't
they
even
have to
have
go
to
quickly.
see that he said the word nigga
Again,
for
we
us
make the
to
best
tell that he
equipment in the
racist.
world, but
I'm
they
like,
don't make the
what?
best.
What?
And we're going to be also discussing
What type of sense does that
We want
make?
the dividends to go
Fuck it.
into the creation of production facilities. So we'll be talking about all CapEx, dividends, and the pay. We're also going to be talking about buybacks. They spend so much money on buybacks. They want to buy back their stock. I don't want them to buy back their stock. I want them to put the money in plant and equipment so they can build these planes fast, rapidly, like immediately. I mean, I have sold more planes than any president by far, times probably 20.
Hey, talk about planes and all that type of stuff. I want you to understand, as a young kid, when I went to school, I literally learned that a big government is not good. They literally taught us this shit in school. And it's silly. It's silly how I can go on Facebook and look at what my friends are saying from Ohio. But again, they don't deal with the border. They don't know. So they speaking out of ignorance. And I hate that people will speak on something that they're not going through. The internet is so intertwined and so connected. We could be talking about something in Florida and niggas in Ohio got an opinion on it. But they're not going through it and they're not understanding the vitality of what's going on because it's not happening where you're seeing it. And you don't have family, and if you do have family, they're being biased about the situation. Nigga, I went to my laundromat. It's nothing but straight Mexicans. Straight fucking Mexicans. And I'm not being racist, but none of them niggas speak English. None of them. On the whole fucking block, the whole fucking what is it called? The whole plaza. Every single last one of them in the washing room. We ain't getting on washing and dryers yet, so we go to the laundromat. And bro, I can't even, you literally don't fucking feel safe going to wash your fucking clothes. You literally don't. How would I feel? And niggas be so fucking fake. How can you feel 100% safe in a room where none of these niggas speak the same language as you? How? Bro, I'm a nigga. I should be, feeling the safest of them all. If people want to say black people intimidating and shit, why am I intimidated by by 50 Mexicans in my laundromat? I want to take my parents down there and go see that shit. I want to see how they feel. What he saying?
Approximately. Huh? What?
Over 30.
We have over 30.
Yeah, man. I don't get it. And then it's funny because the same people that support Democrats, bro, it's white people out there that support them. But all of my friends call white people racist. All of my friends think white people are generally racist. There's 18% racist. They can't put a number to it. When they say racist, they say white people are racist. But then they go vote for the Democrats. And then it also fucking trips me out when somebody says, well, when I voted for when I vote for Republicans, I lose money or something like that. Well, why would we keep letting the immigrants in when the Democrats are here? Obviously, it's a system that works on itself. And if fuck. I've never even seen a Republican in office besides Trump. So I don't even understand how we know that our money. Fuck. Like what? Let me see. The last. Hey, Dad.
Hey, man, I've been working. I forgot to call you back.
Oh, no, you good. I'm doing a live stream right now.
A live stream?
Yeah.
On what?
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
YouTube. Sit here watching some YouTube.
Oh, okay. I don't know if we're going to make it down there, man. It's
No.
tight, but if we don't make it, I'm definitely still sitting your part. I'm still buying your part,
Understood. Yes, sir.
But we working on it. We down to like $400 something right now, maybe $3. And but we waiting on these for home serve to pay us.
Understood.
There's definitely bullshitting around. I'm trying to get her to put them things in early, but like I said, we're gonna try to make it. So if we don't, but you don't get your part either way.
Boy, dude, thank you.
It's all over the place. That's not fishing equipment. There's no fishing rods on those boats. They move fast. When you see a boat with 4 engines or 5 engines on, going 40, 50 miles an hour, well, they get hit. We save 25,000 lives every single time we knock out a boat, and it's over 96% stopped by sea. We're trying to figure out who the other 4% are, frankly. And we're going to have the same success, but even quicker, because it's much easier on land. If they want to come by land, they're going to end up having a big problem. They're going to get blown to pieces, because we don't want our people poisoned. 300,000 people died, probably last year 300,000. A lot of people say it was 200. Somebody said last night, it was only 175,000 people. That's like 3 stadiums, big football stadiums filled up with people died. But I think the real number is 300,000. We're not going to have that anymore. So we're doing a great job, and we enjoy doing it. Our border is secure. Our country is strong. Trillions of dollars is coming into our country from other countries and companies. They're building factories and plants, including auto plants, all over the United States of America. Without tariffs, they wouldn't be doing anything, although they were very happy with the November 5th election. But it's only because they want to avoid paying tariffs that they're all coming in. And again, the biggest number was $3 trillion in history. That was China many years ago. Now it's $18 trillion, and that's just in 10 months. We think we could hit $20 trillion. That's investment in the United States, including plant and equipment. So thank you very much, and I'll ask Pete to say a few words, and then John. If you have any questions, we'll take them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, Mr. President, you're exactly right. There are no fishing poles, no fishermen, and no fishing boats. Just drug dealers and narco-terrorists. And with every strike, we're saving American lives. No other president was willing to do real deterrence. That's exactly what's happening. It's an honor to be here, Mr. President, Mr. Secretary, Secretary Rubio, to talk about what peace through strength really looks like. You can talk about it, or you can invest in it, and you can build it. And that's exactly what President Trump is doing. At the Department of War, we're restoring the warrior ethos. In fact, the President mentioned the NDAA. We put into law merit-based. We put into law getting rid of DEI and political correctness. That's now part of how our military operates. And you've seen it in record recruiting in the spirit of the Department of War. We're rebuilding the military. President Trump did it once. He's doing again with historic investments today in shipbuilding. And we're reestablishing deterrence, whether that's at the border, whether it's through Golden Dome, what happened with Midnight Hammer and what Iran found out, those drug boats, and of course the Houthis opening up the shipping lanes. American strength is back on the world stage. And the announcement of the Golden Fleet, anchored by new battleships, the biggest and most lethal ever, accomplishes all 3 of those things and marks a generational commitment to American sea power. Across the entire department, we are developing new operational concepts, deploying cutting-edge technologies, and making major investments, including in our Navy. This is happening in all domains, including space, as the President has talked about before anyone else. So it's the highest of domains and the lowest of domains under sea, and especially today in sea power, that always has to be decisive, has been in the history of America, and will continue to be under the leadership of President Trump. We will make sure that anything that flows from our country and with our allies flows freely and uncontested. New and better ships will provide that deterrent today and for generations to come. This new class, these new investments, will be the types of things that for decades, for centuries, the American people will look back and thank President Trump for having the vision and the willingness to invest right now in capabilities we need today, tomorrow, and long into the future. So, Mr. President, thank you for this investment, and I'll hand it over now to the Navy Secretary.
Thank you.
Mr. President, Secretary Hegseth, Secretary Rubio, thank you for being here on a very consequential day. From my very first conversation with President Trump about serving as the Secretary of the Navy, he's talked about the great Iowa-class battleship and why America doesn't build ships anymore with that kind of offensive firepower that takes the fight to the enemy. During my time in the job, I've talked extensively with our combatant commanders, like Admiral Paparo and Admiral Cooper, and our CNO, Admiral Cottle. And what I've learned is that not only is the President's idea a good one, it's something that Navy desperately needs and now has a formal requirement for. The future Trump-class battleship, the USS Defiant, will be the largest, deadliest, and most versatile and best-looking warship anywhere on the world's oceans. I want to thank the President for his vision to make this game-changing capability for the United States Navy. The Iowa was designed to go on the attack with the biggest guns, and that's exactly what will define the Trump-class battleships. Offensive firepower from the biggest guns of our era. This ship isn't just to swat the arrows. It is going to reach out and kill the archers. And for the first time in generations, we'll have a new leg in America's nuclear deterrence, because the Trump-class battleship will carry the nuclear-armed, sea-launched cruise missile. Striking dominance isn't all that the Trump-class battleship brings to the fight at sea. It has the size and capacity to serve as a flagship for our fleet commanders so that they can command and control naval forces far out to sea. As shown in the series, and the President mentioned it, Victory at Sea, Admirals Bull Halsey and Raymond Spruance commanded the war in the Pacific from their battleship flagships during World War II. Now this new battleship will command everything from warships to drones and everything in between. We're going to make battle groups great again. And this is just one piece of the President's golden fleet that we're going to build with the investments he talked about. A new frigate, the right frigate, the one our warfighters have told us they need. More amphibious power for our Marines with new capabilities like the medium landing ship. As part of the Navy's high-low mix, we're moving out aggressively on unmanned vessels with funding from the President's One Big Beautiful Bill to bring options to the fight and pull new, non-traditional defense partners into the American shipbuilding ecosystem. And we're making a generational investment in support ships. Logistics wins wars, and that kind of shipbuilding is the spark that will ignite the industrial base and help power the commercial shipbuilding that the President has called for.
He like, say one wrong thing, I'ma bat you in your shit,
we'll have
nigga.
more tonnage and firepower
Trump
under
like,
than
Trump
ever
like,
before in our history.
say one wrong thing.
Means jobs
Say one.
States now.
Say one wrong thing.
I'm
gonna whoop your ass like my kid.
Philadelphia to San Diego.
Let me stop. That's what he be looking like. He be on timing. Trump be on timing. I'm telling you, Trump be on timing.
Manufacturers that will build components for this battleship in every state. The President has been clear. We must bring back our American maritime industrial might. And he has told me many times that as Secretary of the Navy, it is my job to equip our sailors to win the fight at sea.
Trump trying not to yawn. Look.
To conclude,
he trying to take that deep breath to counteract that yawn.
Awe and reverence for the American flag whenever it pulls into a foreign port. It will be a source of pride for every American when it brings home our brave sailors who will sail defiant, raise their fists, and say, "We are peace through strength." And our adversaries will know when the Trump-class USS Defiant appears on the horizon, American victory at sea is inevitable. Thank you, Mr. President. Now when a conflict arises, you are going to ask not one, but two questions. Where are the carriers and where are the battleships? Thank you.
I just want to mention that John Phelan is one of the most successful businessmen in the country, in our country. Been a tremendous success, and he wanted to do this, and for nothing. He's taken probably the largest salary cut in history, but he wanted to do it. He wants to rebuild our Navy, and you needed that kind of a brain to do it properly. So I just wanted to give you a little information on him, which is probably enough. But one of the most successful men in the country, and he's that because he understands it. and he understands finance in addition to what we're talking about. Somebody's doing a fantastic job is Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. And Marco, maybe say a few words, and then we'll answer some questions. Thank you.
I'm here for the questions.
And I don't have much to add. This is a phenomenal presentation. Thank you, Mr. President. This is American industrial power returning. This is the ability, once again, to rebuild, to have industry in the United States.
What's up, baby?
This is a generation and a change, not just in terms of applying American war power, increasing our ability to protect the seas. The U.S. Navy is the single biggest source
For
of peace
doing that jumping and shit. All of that.
because it gives us a global footprint. But it rebuilds American industrial capacity. The ability to make things again in our country has been critical to what the President's agenda has been all about, and this is a tangible reminder of it. And I know the country's grateful for it, and generations of Americans will be grateful for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
You could come in here, baby.
By the way, I think I'd just like to point out that these ships are made of steel as opposed to aluminum. It's a big difference, as you know. Battleships, the great battleships, had 6- and 7-inch steel hulls, and these are going to be likewise made out of very powerful steel. Our steel industry is coming back very strongly, by the way. It's coming back at record numbers, and we're going to be using them for the steel, but as opposed to an aluminum side, which, in all fairness, is not the same. So, John, we're going with all steel, I understand, and it's going to be something that people are surprised, more expensive, but not even comparable in terms of the importance and the strength. Yeah, please.
What's your timetable for these first two ships, and do you see them as a counter to
we'll
China?
We'll start almost immediately, and we'll probably talk in about 2.5 years.
And in terms of the mission, do you see it as a counter to China?
It's a counter to everybody. It's not China. We get along great with China. I have a great relationship with President Xi, and not China. It's just everybody. You don't know who comes along, but we just wanted peace through strength. Hopefully we never have to use them, but there will never be anything built like these. Think of it. Those battleships are incredible. These have 100 times the power. Think of that. I mean, and they were big and they were powerful. You know, I thought about taking some that are in dry dock and changing them, and then when I said that, you know, if we did, it would be about, we could increase, if we doubled them, they'd be at like just a tiny fraction of what one of these would. This is the new technology, which is incredible. So we decided pretty early on not to do that. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, Willie Rosas with Most Peaceful Media. You just referenced the lower amount of illegal drugs that are coming by sea, and you just said that you're going to start that same program on land soon. Are you just referring to Venezuela, or are you referring to other countries in Latin America?
Anywhere drugs are pouring in. Anywhere.
No cap.
Yes.
He finna have you niggas locked up.
Oil. What are we going to do with the oil that we have?
Going to do with what?
The oil that has been seized. The United States seized 1.9 million barrels of oil on December 10th.
We're going to keep it. We're keeping.
Where's it? Are we going to sell it or put it in the strategic?
Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserves. We're keeping it. We're keeping the ships also. Yeah, please.
Right. Why y'all asking them this shit?
About Venezuela, sir, have you spoken to American oil companies that have had their assets seized about what a post-Maduro Venezuela would mean for them, of what coming back and restarting operations?
The big ones, yeah. I have. Yeah, please.
Why do you feel like this initiative was neglected for so many years, and does this come amidst the rising tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela?
We're talking about with Venezuela?
Yes.
Well, you had a different kind of a president before me.
Where you going?
They didn't mind being ripped off. They didn't mind being robbed. They didn't mind drugs pouring into our country.
You ain't butt-ass naked, is you?
Venezuela and Trenton, Nicaragua being emptied into the U.S., where they take over Colorado and other places. I do mind. So you had a different kind of a president. I hope people are enjoying it.
He ain't do good that whole time. I watched him. He ain't do good at all. None of that shit was good.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Were you surprised by the number of photos of Bill Clinton?
None of that shit is good, Rihanna.
And can you commit to their full... And were you surprised by the number of photos of Bill Clinton in the Epstein files? And can you commit to their full release by the end of the year? Some of the victims were protesting that too many of them were redacted.
I know there are a lot of people that are angry about all of the pictures of other people, you know, but I think it's terrible. Look, I don't like... I like Bill Clinton. I've always gotten along with Bill Clinton. I've been nice to him. He's been nice to me. We've always gotten along. Respect him. I hate to see photos come out of him, but this is what the Democrats, mostly Democrats, and a couple of bad Republicans are asking for. So they give you their photos of me too. Everybody was friendly with this guy, either friendly or not friendly, but they, he was around. He was all over Palm Beach and other places. The head of Harvard was his best friend, Larry Summers, and Bill Clinton was a friend of his. But everybody was. I actually threw him out of Mar-a-Lago, and as a person that was in Mar-a-Lago, I threw him out. Mar-a-Lago, this is Mar-a-Lago. It's the hottest place I think it's the hottest place in the world, but it's the hottest place in Florida. And everybody would come here, he'd come here. We actually threw him out. But no, I don't like the pictures of Bill Clinton being shown. I don't like the pictures of other people being shown. I think it's a terrible thing. I think Bill Clinton's a big boy, he can handle it, but you probably have pictures being exposed of other people that innocently met Jeffrey Epstein years ago, many years ago, and they're highly respected bankers and lawyers and others, and they'll end up, because of guys like Massey, who's a real lowlife, whose polls are down to about 9%, by the way, in the great state of Kentucky. If you look at Kentucky, Kentucky is such a great place, but I don't know, they've got a couple of people on there that are very strange in terms of leadership, but Massey's a loser. And he likes it, and that he works with the Democrats. He's just being used by the Democrats, because what this whole thing is with Epstein is a way of trying to deflect from the tremendous success that the Republican Party has. Like, for instance, today we're building the biggest ships in the world, most powerful ships in the world, and they're asking me questions about Jeffrey Epstein. I thought that was finished. I believe they gave over 100,000 pages of documents, and there's tremendous backlash. It's an interesting question, because a lot of people are very angry that pictures are being released of other people that really had nothing to do with Epstein, but they're in a picture with him because he was at a party, and you ruin a reputation of somebody. So a lot of people are very angry that this continues. A lot of Republicans are angry because of the fact that it's just used to deflect against a tremendous success. Look, we have $18 trillion coming into our country. We have, I believe, we're going to have the most successful economy in history. We inherited a mess. Now prices are coming way down. Gasoline is less than $2 in some states. $1.99, $1.97, $1.95 a gallon. $1.95. Think of that. A gallon. Nobody ever thought they'd see that. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about Epstein. And the problem is a lot of Democrats are being caught up in the web, like Larry Summers. Larry Summers was the head of Harvard. He's now been forced to resign from every board he's on, and he was thrown off the Harvard board. Now he was at Epstein's Island a lot. I wasn't. I never went there, by the way. But fortunately, it's nice. But I never went there. But a lot of people did go there. But instead of talking about the battleships, or instead of talking about most favored nations drugs, we're bringing down drug prices like at a level that has never even been thought of, by thousands. Think of it, by 1,000%, by 1,200, 1,300, 1,400% in some cases. A drug that sells for $10 in London is costing $130 in New York. We're bringing it down to $20, and they're going to go up to 20. So they're going from 10 to 20, which is a doubling. It's a doubling.
What does cost in India? How much does cost in India?
We're going down to 20. So we're going down, if you can do your own math, but it's 2,000%, $3,000%.
I looked up the prices online so I could have some proof.
The New York Times had a story
The 100 milliliter was $25.
It's the
So it was half the
single
price of the
biggest thing
200
to happen
milliliter.
With respect to drugs, probably in 50 years. It's never been anything like this.
That's what he's talking about, though.
I was able to get drug prices down 1/4%. It's the first time in 28 years that they went down. 1/4%. I was so proud of myself. Now we're doing them 2,000%, 1,500%, 1,200%. That pill that sold for $130 will now be selling, as an example, for $20.
Let me see.
Because
Let me see medications. What medication can I
Without
look
tariffs,
up?
I could have never done it. I called up the heads of the countries, as an example. France, I spoke to a very good man, President Macron of France. And I said, Emmanuel, you have to raise your
$8.
prices.
It was $8.
He
That should have been the same price, huh?
We will not do that. I said, you have to. He said, no, I don't want to do that. Look, you're asking me if we go to $10 to $20. You're going to come way down to 20. We don't want to do that. Now, in all fairness, no other president even tried. But if they did try, there was actually a fake story in Stupid USA Today. I didn't even think they'd make it anymore. I haven't. But I saw a story where Biden was trying
It's
to
okay,
do this.
baby. You
Biden
don't
never
gotta talk
tried
about
to do it. Biden didn't know he was alive. He never tried to do it. But they're taking it from $10 to $20. So he would say, and the other leader said the same thing. No, we won't do it. I said, no, you're going to do it 100%. They said, nope, we're not doing it. We're not going to double our price. Because, again, if you go from $10 to $20, they're doubling their price. We're coming now, though, from $130 to $20 because we're going to get the lowest drug prices in the world. Whatever the lowest price is called favored nations, we're going to have the lowest price. So I said, no, you're going to. No, I will not do this. Politically, it's unacceptable. I said, Emmanuel, you're going to do it 100%. Please accept it now. Be nice. You're going to do it 100%. No, I will not. I said, yes, you will. He said, why do you keep telling me I am when I'm not? Because if you don't do it, I'm going to put a 25% tariff on everything France sells into the United States of America. And that's approximately 20 times more than I'm asking for with respect to drug prices. He said, oh, I see. I agreed to do it. Every other country said the exact same thing. They all said, no, I will not do it. I said, all right, on Monday morning you'll have the 25% tariff, everything you sell. In the case of France, it was wine, champagne, cars, everything they sell. It's 25 to 30 times the price.
Ferrari is an Italian car.
Every single country agreed. And that was the big problem. The drug companies were difficult, but fine, because we have a certain control over the drug companies. We had no control over these foreign nations. So every single country has agreed to do this. So we will take that pill price down, as an example, talking about not just pills, we're talking about everything. We'll take it down from $130 a pill down to $20 a pill. And the rest of the world will take it from $10 a pill up to $20. It's the biggest thing ever to happen, and it's barely covered in the New York Times because it's a fake newspaper. Yeah.
Mr. President, on shipbuilding, how is the administration plan to ensure that there's sufficient workforce availability as you're producing these ships?
Could you speak up?
How does the administration plan to ensure there is sufficient workforce availability as you're producing these ships?
We're going to have we're going to have tremendous workforce availability. We're also going to have robots helping us. We're going to have a lot of robots helping us.
Killing that bowl.
And because we're going to town, we're building a lot between the AI and the auto plants. So we're going to need robots. We're going to have robots, but that's going to help us. We're going to have a tremendous workforce, and in order to operate you're always going to need people. You know, you can have robots, but you're going to have to get somebody to start those robots, and you're going to have to improve the robots. But we're going to have robotic factories plus manpower. So we're going to have enough. We're going to need the help of robots and other forms of, I guess you could say, employment. We're going to be employing a lot of artificial things, but the beauty is we're going to have more jobs than we've ever had. Just so you know, a number came out the other day. We have more jobs right now in the United States. More people are working right now in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. Think of that. Pretty amazing. So we'll have the help of, mechanical help, if you want to call it that, but we'll have tremendous employment. They'll be paid a lot of money. They'll do better than they ever did. Okay?
Mr. President, some may have been expecting a different kind of announcement today, hearing your Secretary of War and Secretary of State here. You mentioned strikes on land in Venezuela more than 15 times, even now, just in your recent remarks. Why should Maduro take your threats seriously? And
he can do whatever he wants.
What's your end game?
Maduro?
What's your end game?
There's no answer. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, we have a massive armada formed, the biggest we've ever had, and by far the biggest we've ever had in South America. He can do whatever he wants. It's all right. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do something, if he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough. But They sent their prisoners into us. They sent people from jails, prisons. They sent people from mental institutions and insane asylums into the United States, just walked right in because Biden had an open border policy. What the Biden administration did to our country can never be forgotten. They took in millions and millions, 25 million people over the course of 4 years. Many of those people were murderers and drug dealers, prisoners, rough prisoners. 11,888 murderers. More than half of them killed more than one person. They came into our country. Now, I spoke to Christine Noem today. I spoke to Tom Homan today. He came down to see me. And we had a great meeting. They've done an amazing job. We're getting them out. We're getting them out very fast. But this should have never happened. But Venezuela was one of the... Venezuela took advantage of the open borders that Biden created more than any other country. Tren de Aragua, we had gangs all over. Look, I mean, you have a very weak governor in Colorado. Look what happened in Colorado where they would occupy apartment houses. And he didn't want to do anything about it because he was scared. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead, please.
So in response to the United States taking sanctioned oil from Venezuela, Colombian President Gustavo Petro criticized the United States by saying, well, the Southwest is stolen land and that it should be returned to Latin America. I just wanted to know what your response to that is.
Well, he has to watch because, you know, he's got drug factories. They make cocaine in Colombia. And he's no friend of the United States. He's very bad guy. And he's got to watch his ass because he makes cocaine and they send it into the United States of America from Colombia. We love the Colombian people. I love the Colombian people. They're great people, energetic, smart, great. But their new leader is a troublemaker. And he better watch it. He better close up those cocaine factories. They have at least 3 major cocaine factories. We know where they are. He better close them up fast, yeah. By the way, it's made and sold into the United States. Comes through Mexico.
Thank you, sir. You've named Governor Landry to be new special envoy to Greenland. Yeah. What do you see that role entailing? And is it still your intention that Greenland become part of the U.S.?
He viewed Louisiana, the Louisiana Purchase. He said, I'm governor of Louisiana. And he said, I would love, I didn't call him, he called me. He's very proactive. He's a great guy. He's a deal guy. He's a deal maker type guy. And we need it for national protection. We need Greenland for national protection. They have a very small population. And I don't know, they say Denmark, but Denmark has spent no money. They have no military protection. If they say that Denmark was there 300 years ago or something with a boat, well, we were there with boats too, I'm sure. So we'll have to work it all out. But he felt very strongly, we need it for we need Greenland for national security. Not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it. And he wanted to lead the charge. So we're making him, Marco, today, a special envoy to Greenland. Greenland's a big deal. Yeah.
On Ukraine, can you give an update on the talks that took place this past weekend, and could a trilateral discussion of sort be the next step for Ukrainian, U.S. and Russian
delegation?
So
the talks in Ukraine, Russia are going along. They lost, as you know, 27,000 soldiers last month, mostly soldiers, some people in Kiev, etc., but mostly soldiers. And the talks are going along, and I say that, there's tremendous hatred between these two leaders. Between President Putin, President Zelensky, tremendous hatred, and I hope we can get it done. We are talking, talks are going okay, but, I've solved 8 wars, and Thailand is starting to shape up. They started with Cambodia, they started up again, but I think, Marco, we have that in pretty good shape to have that stopped. So we stopped 8 wars, and I thought this would be in the middle of the pack, but maybe easy, but in the middle of the pack. But there's a lot of hatred between those two people, and when there's hatred, there's, But we stopped one war 38 years, one war 35 years, one war was going on for 32 years. And we stopped, think of it, we stopped a potential nuclear war between Pakistan and India. And the head of Pakistan, highly respected general, he's a field marshal, and also the Prime Minister of Pakistan said, President Trump saved 10 million lives, maybe more, by getting that war. You know, 8 planes were shot down. That war was starting to rage. And he actually said the other day that President Trump saved 10 million lives, maybe more. So we solved all these wars. The only one I haven't solved yet is Russia, Ukraine.
Are you still pushing for the Christmas Day deadline with Russia and Ukraine? And have you spoken with Putin or Zelensky or plan to push the deal?
I'll do whatever I have to do. I mean, I'd like to see it stop. Look, we don't lose any money on that war anymore. You know, Biden gave $350 billion, and who knows what happened to it. We now sell missiles, planes, all of the best military equipment. We sell it to NATO. We got NATO to go from 2% GDP to 5%. Nobody believed that to this day. Nobody's going to write that, but nobody believed it. And they take that money and they pay it to the United States for weapons. So we sell weapons to NATO. We sell full price. We sell weapons to NATO, and NATO takes those weapons and probably distributes them, but gives a lot of them to Ukraine. So we don't lose any money like we did with Biden. He was spending money like a fool. He was a fool. What he did to our country is so horrible. But he gave $350 billion between cash, gave a lot of cash, $350 between cash and weapons. You remember at the beginning of that whole thing, I gave them javelins. Javelins are the anti-tank busters. And President Obama at the time gave them sheets. I gave them javelins. They gave them sheets. But you know, the bottom line is time for, I think they're all tired of that war. Everyone's tired of that war. It's got to stop. Yeah, please.
The U.S. was in active pursuit of a sanctioned oil tanker yesterday. Are you able to share what became of that tanker? Was the U.S. able to seize it?
No, it's moving along, and we'll end up getting it. Yeah, we're actually pursuing it. Can you imagine? Because it came from the wrong location. It came out of Venezuela, and it was sanctioned. Yeah, please.
Ultimate goal in Venezuela to force Maduro from power.
Well, I think it probably would. I can't tell that. That's up to him what he wants to do. I think it would be smart for him to do that. But again, we're going to find out. Look, Venezuela did terrible things to the United States. They sent hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, into our open border. They sent their criminals, they sent their prisoners, they sent their drug dealers, they sent their mentally insane and incompetent people into our country more than any other country. Others did too. The Congo did. Others did too. And we just let them come right in because we were run by a stupid president. But you don't have a stupid president anymore.
Mr. President, have you set up the meeting with the health care insurers just yet? And what are you hoping to get? How
I'll be setting it up. I think we're going to meet with healthcare, the healthcare insurers, the insurance companies. So what I'm asking for in healthcare is very simple. Obamacare is a disaster. I call it the Unaffordable Care Act. Unaffordable as opposed to it's unaffordable. They're going to have a tremendous increase in premiums, which is Obamacare, which is them, the Democrats' fault. They'll try and blame Republicans. It has nothing to do with us. It's the Democrats' fault. What I want to do is we spend hundreds of billions of dollars a year that go to insurance companies. I want that money to go to the people and let the people buy their own health care. And everybody loves it. It's become our issue. Now, before I do that, I'll meet with the insurance companies, just as I met with the drug companies. As you know, we're meeting with 4 other drug companies, Johnson & Johnson. But they've all agreed. We're meeting with them this week. It's coming up. It'll be a similar meeting. They've all agreed. But nobody would have thought the drug companies were going to do what they did, where they're giving away free drugs. And they've been so great. Okay? And we have most favored nations. Nobody thought that was possible. I don't think any other president ever tried to get it because they never thought they could. But with respect to the insurance companies, I want to meet. There's essentially 14 of them, 10 big, but there's a total of 14 pretty much, pretty big. And I want to meet with them, and I want to say, I want you to cut your rates way down, way down. And maybe, if they do that, we'll be able to not cut them out. We'll be able to continue to deal with them, which is probably a little easier process. I think the best process is pay the money directly to the people, let them buy their own health care. But I'm going to meet with them the first week back. I do it now, but they're trying to come up with a schedule. They want to meet badly. They've told me, but they want to come up with a schedule. I said, make it a good schedule. Your rates have to come way down. We're also going to meet with other insurance companies because under Biden, the insurance rates have gone through the roof. Auto insurance, home insurance. I mean, insurance companies are making far more than they're entitled to make. So we're going to be doing that. But just in the meantime, we'll be meeting with the insurance companies in the first week, the first few days back in Washington, because they're trying to come up with a proposal that will satisfy me. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. I hope you're going to enjoy the battleships. They're going to be beautiful. Thank you. And have a great Christmas if I don't speak to you. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
President Trump with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and Secretary of the Navy John Phelan. The Trump class is USS Defiant, this new group of warships made of steel. So the American steel industry really booming back and coming back at the 6 o'clock hour on the East Coast, 3 o'clock on the West Coast, as a deterrent really to not only China, as President Trump was asked that question, but really to the entire world. Peace through strength. The MAGA agenda and the American First policy really being implemented not only domestically but internationally with this new plan, as President Trump has made it a priority of his to make this American military more robust and more powerful than ever before. And in a way, yes, it is ultimately to counter China to a certain extent, because they were projected to have the strongest and mightiest military, specifically the Navy, by 2027. That really changes with a plan like this. So an interesting press conference there from the Southern White House, the Winter White House at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. As President Trump making that announcement on these new steel carriers in the Trump class for the United States Navy, he celebrated 6 years of Space Force on December 20th of 2019. Of course, this is all culminating into the golden era of the United States, 250 years young. Be sure to catch all America First updates right here at RSBN by going to rsbnetwork.com/newsletter. There you can find all the great writings, the op-eds, and the columnists here at the network outside of the broadcast as well. We're very grateful for you and all the viewership during this Hanukkah and Christmas season, as I'm sure you're all getting ready and prepared for the most lovely time of the year. For all my colleagues here at Right Side Broadcasting Network, in case we don't see you, may you have a very Merry Christmas and God bless you and yours, and a very Happy New Year, as we are your go-to live desk and, of course, your rally network for all things 2026 and beyond. I'm Robert McNeely. Thank you again for tuning in the RSBN afternoon and prime time for this address from President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. In the meantime, we'll see you very soon, and if we don't, Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live. Look, don't forget to watch my show right here at Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. It's imperative that you do so, okay? Bye-bye.
allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. You can scan that QR code now, RSBN10. That is the code, easy to remember, for 10% off. This is ivermectin, hydrochloroquine, antibiotics that will save you and yours from bacterial and viral infections, NAD+, and much, much more. 200 essential medications and emergency medical kits, the meds you trust delivered to your door.
While strolling along life highway, on that road somebody storm, I heard a voice from heaven saying, you're standing out there alone. And I thought about King Jesus, then I folded